Like, what are we doing?
Pronounce the word coup de grace. He says coup de grace.
Welcome back to This is a Takeover. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and my job on this podcast is to introduce your hosts, Shelby Ray Patterson and Gina Belmont.
Thank you, David, and welcome to Charlotte's only female-led NXT-focused wrestling podcast, This is a Takeover.
Whoop, whoop.
And with me, as always, as David so graciously introduced her, is Gina Belmont.
Hey, y'all, hey.
How you doing?
Oh, I am all right. Just excited to be in the recording studio again.
We are back, guys.
Woo!
We are back. I love that we have a little bit of time away.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it makes me like super amped when we come back in.
Yes, definitely.
We don't, I don't know. I feel like now we do have a show every single month.
I know.
And I know I've said this before, but when we pitched it to David, we were like, yeah, we're not going to be in here.
Yeah, it's like only like for a year. Like,
and now he sees our lovely faces at least once a month.
Ayo.
Now, so.
I'm good with it.
Yay.
Aww.
Okay, good.
Especially considering you're the most popular podcast on the network.
Ayo. That's still just
that's baffling.
Blows my mind.
That's so awesome.
Like
thank you.
I know, and it's so great, and I'm so happy that like it's been well received.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I don't like gushing about stuff
No,
like that.
and I even had another person reach out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Reach out to me while we were watching NXT because I had posted on my story a couple
we're trying
hours.
to do that.
Yeah,
more.
I'm trying to get on my Facebook and Instagram and post stories. It's weird. It's like something I don't do all the time, but I'm trying, guys.
I mean, we have a show, and I guess that's how you promote shit nowadays.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I try. I mean, I enjoy it a little bit. I'm not going to say I enjoy it a lot because it's social media and there's only so much I feel like you can enjoy nowadays.
Exactly.
But I have, and that has been a bright spot for me. It's like wrestling Instagram and wrestling Twitter.
Yeah, you hated social media and you kind of still do a little bit.
I do, but again, I enjoy this part of it.
Yes,
like
the good part of it.
The good part of it. And now, since I'm doing the Long Walk podcast Twitter, I have been able to...
You've been having fun with that.
I've been having so much fun. So thank you, David, for giving me the reins on that, because I did not realize how much I would actually enjoy it.
This is how much I trust you. I have not looked at the Long Walk Podcast Twitter since I handed it over to you. So you could have been posting literally anything. And
dang it.
I would have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I made a comment about that the other night when we were watching the show, and I was like, I wonder if he actually like has seen what I've been posting, because I've tried to been making it even, across all three shows.
It's not just This is a Takeover.
I mean, it's not.
I appreciate that.
We have our own too. So
yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do have our own.
I was in the car earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I have a TikTok account, a profile, and I've never once posted anything. I should use TikTok to promote this show. And I was like, I'm going to do it once and then never fucking again.
Yeah.
That is like, if you think Twitter is a lot to manage, like TikTok is way more to manage,
Absolutely.
like way more to produce. Like, I mean,
I won't lie. I haven't been down the TikTok wrestling hole. And that might be something I have to go and disassociate and do for a little
the TikTok wrestling hole?
Like
a rabbit hole, but a wrestling hole?
Yeah, like,
okay.
So in like TikTok, because she does not partake in much TikTok. I partake in more.
I don't have the app on my phone at all.
Yeah. So there's like different sections where you can like find like there's like pasta making TikTok. There's, like all sorts of different things and like categories like baking TikTok. And I don't know why I'm on food because I love food, I guess. But
I watch food videos all the time.
And that's the thing. It's like that's, but they're different niche compartmpartments.
Well, I think
I'm sure there's got to be a wrestling area in there.
Well, on this takeover, I'm pretty sure they advertised.
Oh yeah, they did because
their TikTok. So, guys, if you're on TikTok and you like watching NXT, you should totally follow them on TikTok, I guess. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
I mean, I'm sure if you just look up...
at WWE NXT, I think, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know if there's like a search engine on TikTok.
Don't call us out if we're wrong.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like now with our social media accounts, like, I am almost at 500 followers.
Heyo.
And I was shocked when
Look
I
at
checked that the other
you.
day.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You didn't tell me that.
I'm like 490 something, which, I mean, people who listen to
almost wanna
this,
make a Twitter account.
who are actually, no, this isn't Twitter, this is Instagram.
Oh, what?
So people who are listening to this who may have like a prominent like podcast channel, like 500 followers is probably like nothing to y'all, but like
us.
I'm a nobody from North Carolina. So like having close to 500 followers is like, you know, kind of a big deal to me, I guess.
Aww.
But I don't know. That's when I'm like, do I really care that much? But then deep down I'm like, yeah,
There's, like,
I care.
But it's really cool. There's validation. I like it.
That's how it works.
Yes.
But I love us riffing at the top. You can tell we like haven't really got to see each other much.
We're gonna see each other. We've seen each other a lot though this week. Overall.
This week, but
overall, yeah.
yeah, it's just been
But
crazy.
overall, yes. No.
But so Gina,
Yes.
what
Shelby.
are you drinking right now?
I am drinking something from Sycamore Brewing, which is local, and it's called Paloma Goes. So it's a Go style ale with citrus.
I love a Paloma. Have you ever
so
had one?
Good. It's been a long time.
It's
but
one of my
yes.
favorite. I don't do liquor very much unless it is brown.
Yeah.
Right? Like bourbon, whiskey,
Oh.
that type of thing. But I would down a Paloma.
Palomas
for sure.
are great. Oh my gosh. But the only thing I have to complain about is that it is not cold. So
Yeah, see, we talked about this before we turned the mics
just
on.
a second ago.
I am such a temperature snob
in all forms.
in all forms. Like, if it's food, if it's drinks, if it's like the air outside.
Unless you're taking things out of the oven, then you just suddenly forget that.
Yeah, because I'm hungry and I want the food. It's not that I forget that it's hot. It's just
You just turn that off. You're like, it's not worth it.
it's the quickest way, whatever. But yeah, that's why I restrict myself to just the cooler at Main Street Bottle Shop.
Yes.
Because I can't just pull something from the counter like that.
And I have to because my type is so specific that I have to like, okay, where's the sours? Okay, where's the
That's
gozes?
true. You can't
So
just be
it's-
like,
I
hey,
can't-
I'll just take whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna take this wheat beer, and I'm gonna be like, like.
As I drink my wheat beer. So
To be fair, though, whatever you gave me that one time that we went to the German restaurant, I enjoyed that
it's
one.
because it's German beer.
Exactly.
And great segue because I am drinking a German beer right now.
I did that on purpose.
I am not even gonna try to pronounce what the brand of this is. David?
It looks to me like there's an umlaut there, so Schufferhofer? Schufferheffer?
Sure. I'm gonna go with that. I know what Hefeweizen is because that's the type of beer.
That was good.
It's a Hefeweizen grapefruit beer. And I mean it's
very
good.
orange.
It is. It says it's colored with beta carotene. So like the shit in carrots.
That's so specific.
I don't know, but
I just love the fact that you said grapefruit.
yeah,
So why is it orange?
I don't know.
Grapefruit.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Anywho.
But it tastes more like a juice.
Because fuck you.
You know what? I didn't think about that, David. You're so right. How could I not conceive that?
What would we do without David's interjections, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my gosh. So it tastes kind of more like juice than it actually tastes like beer, which is why I'm about halfway done with it already.
Hey.
But it's aight.
Yeah.
You know, it's good.
Yeah.
So we are in a very interesting position.
We are.
Because this is actually the first takeover that we weren't like extremely thrilled over.
Yeah, it was a meh. Kind of.
And that's a weird spot for us.
It's weird.
Because
We both kind of felt just almost empty. Kind of a little bit.
it felt weird. It felt weird.
Yeah.
And I have been, you know me, I'm obsessed with this type of shit. And I go on the internet and go on Google. And we're not the only ones.
I went real deep there. Sorry, y'all.
We're not the only ones that feel like this. We're not. It is across the board.
No.
People did not like this one.
I have been very well informed.
And this is like such a weird spot for NXT to be in.
Yes.
Because normally you would hear this type of stuff from the main roster pay-per-views and sometimes even AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But normally you do not hear this type of criticism over a takeover.
Yeah, and I'm going to go out there and bring that back because I think I know where it went wrong. Mm-hmm. And then I can talk about that.
Okay.
Later.
Well, we can. Is that like later on?
Well, I mean, it's gonna be sprinkled throughout.
Okay. No.
So
that's good.
I won't give any hints yet.
And also, kind of to add to the whole feeling of it, I was talking to Gina on the way here, y'all. There was a match that we didn't even know happened.
She told me in the car, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" We literally watched the stupid. I hate that man. That stupid rat weasel man talk for freaking forever and just talk about nothing with no music in the background pre-show.
So, friends, she's talking about Sam Roberts. Who has now shaved his head.
It looks better.
He has a bald head and a beard.
That's the only compliment I can give him.
Yeah.
Because
But he has the voice like this, and he talks like that for real, like all the time.
I think you know what? I think that's the reason why it pisses me off so much is that I work with that on a daily level. I'm a preschool assistant teacher. So I hear that, but they can't help it. Their vocal cords literally aren't developed. But this
You
man...
don't know. His might not be. You don't know.
Well, then I'm sorry. But at least try, dude.
If they aren't, then you shouldn't be doing commentary. Oh, God.
It's not even that it's high pitched. It's just that it's also... I'm not going to get into it.
No.
I'm going to get too deep into this. But
that's another rabbit hole you don't want to get down.
That's another rabbit hole I'm not going to get down. But that's the thing. It's like we watched this pre-show where it was so awkward. I don't know why they could not have shown that. But what?
It was weird. So
the
the pre-show was them talking in front of the crowd and, you know, doing video packages to kind of hype up all of the matches, which is a normal pre-show.
Yes.
And most of the time there is a match. Excuse me.
Hey, we taking notes?
Wasn't as big as the first one,
all
guys.
right.
That was off camera or off mic. It was a lot. You are not marking down my burps. Can you not?
No, this pen is too nice. I don't want to. Oh, nice.
Oh, what, the branded pen? Every once in a while, random like stationery and promotion companies will send me branded pens to try to get me to buy more of them, though I'm just handing these bitches out.
I mean, it's a nice pen.
I'm hoarding them.
Yeah,
I love it.
But anywho,
since this isn't a visual medium,
it is
for everyone.
Since y'all can't see it,
it's a pen that says Free Reign Theater Company on it. So
that's one of the Free Reign ones.
Yes.
Okay, I also have like 6 or 7 Long Walk Productions ones that they have sent me over the years.
Okay. No, this one was Free Reign. But anyway,
wow, we are off to a banger of a start. ADD's kicking in real hard for both of us today.
Oh man, it's hump day. Mm-hmm. Hump day.
But yeah, so we're going through the pre-show and they're standing in front of the CWC crowd.
Yeah.
And it is dead quiet.
They're all on their phones. Like we're literally watching them on their phones.
There's no music.
Nothing.
There's nothing. There's nothing to buffer anything. So you can hear that they can hear what everybody's saying.
Like it's being piped in.
But they're reacting to what Sam Roberts and that other guy, I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, the guy from ESPN.
The guy who's actually a sports dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Why didn't he talk more?
I don't know, because he didn't know what he was talking about when he was talking.
He didn't.
But when they would say stuff, the crowd would actually react to what they were saying, so you know that they heard what they were saying.
They look
obviously.
at their phones and go, huh.
Oh yeah, they said the guy that I like, or
and then back down.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Why was that match not there?
I don't know.
Why was it not put right there?
So we're recording this after the weekly or the episode after the takeover, right? So,
and I haven't watched all the way through, so there won't be too many spoilers. But
yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit.
Yes.
But she knows all the ones that I'm going to talk about. But so they're not piping anything in, and then you have this match that just doesn't even exist. Yeah, apparently, except on YouTube. So we were watching the show last night, and there was a segment where somebody was talking to Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea, who are the Robert Stone brand. Frankie Monet was talking to them about how they had lost their match at Takeover. And literally all of us like looked at each other. We're like, wait, did they have a match at Takeover?
No.
And we were all like talking about it, and we were like, no, we watched the pre-show from start to finish. Like, there wasn't a match. And y'all, when I say I dug through the internet last night, it was seriously like put on my Sherlock Holmes hat and my pipe, and I was going through it. Like, I was legit, I could not find it. I could not find it anywhere.
Is so weird.
And then I was like, there's no way that she would have messed up, that she would have said,
no,
something wrong on the show.
The only reason is because she's done promos for how long now? Like,
right.
Oh my gosh. Frankie Monet is an incredible record,
and also, like, they would be able to edit that out.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been able, if she would have messed up, they wouldn't have aired it.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, okay, even if they had this, but they knew that only a certain amount of people, like, why include that when the majority of the people didn't see this match?
Yeah, so basically,
but why?
Like, it is only on YouTube. It was like a 10-minute match. So it was the Robert Stone brand, which is Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea, versus Zoe Stark and Saray.
Like, why not show that?
So there is a match that's on this card that could have been swapped out with that match. And I would have been happy with it.
I know which one you want to swap it out for.
So I don't understand. So I'm going to go through it real quick.
Yep.
Because I watched it before we came.
I have not seen it, so.
So, I mean, it was your basic tag match. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
For a pre-show standard.
And from them, too.
Yeah, I mean, and you have Saray, who is brand new.
So good.
And they've been pushing her, but they also haven't been pushing her at the same time. Like, it's been this weird kind of tweener type thing.
It's almost like a trophy wife kind of status thing. They're like, yes, we have her at NXT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we're not.
Yeah, but she's not going to wrestle.
We're not going to use her. We're going to put her in every once in a while, maybe.
And then you have. Then she goes and squash someone.
And then you have Zoe Stark,
who's amazing,
who has been on a run.
Yes.
For a bit. Her and Tony have been really killing it.
Oh my gosh.
And then you have, Robert Stone brand, who are also good, but just haven't really had any main screen attention. So they go back and forth. I mean, it's a solid match. I mean, I don't really remember a lot because I literally just watched it
No, you're fine.
10 minutes before you showed up at my house.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, it ends up that Saray and Zoe Stark go over.
Yeah.
And there's some shenanigans and chicanery with Robert Stone. But I do want to point out our patron saint, Beth Phoenix, who said the most funniest thing, and I'm so mad that it was not on the actual Takeover.
Oh, come on.
She said the funniest thing on commentary, because Robert Stone had these god-awful furry shoes. They look like bedroom slippers. Like, those like those bedroom slippers that you get at like Walmart or something, that it's like a bear or like like a cartoon character, and it's just like fuzz coming out.
Yes.
That's what he was wearing.
What?
And
why?
So Vic, I'll set it up. So Vic goes, yeah, Robert Stone told me that his shoes are 100% genuine Wookiee fur. And then Wade Barrett goes,
Hubby.
Well, if Robert Stone says it, then I believe it. He's 100% reliable, and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And Beth goes, but Wade, don't you know that Wookiees are an endangered species?
Sorry, I don't mean to clap when I laugh, but it's just something I do. Sorry, earphone listeners.
So
sorry.
I was sitting at my table eating my dinner before I came here. I had to pause because I was laughing so hard. It was the funniest shit I've ever heard. And it made me even more mad that this was not on the main card.
Oh my gosh.
Because we were deprived of that line, of that beautiful line from Beth Phoenix.
Oh
so
my
Beth
gosh.
Phoenix,
who, by the way, looked phenomenal.
Yes, and that's a good segue for us to get into the main card. So I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Like, it was...
I trust your judgment.
I mean, it's a pre-show match.
It's also more like, kind of like the disappointment of it not being there. Kind of like an added extra, like...
I feel like if it was on the card, I probably would have given it a 3.5.
Yeah.
But it... Ugh.
You messed up there.
It sucks. It really does. So, we move into the main show, and this is Takeover in Your House.
Yeah.
Which, we didn't say at the top, but it's NXT Takeover in Your House. So... In Your House we did this one last year.
Yes.
This was one of the first ones we did, I feel like.
Oh my gosh, this was one of the best ones because I remember that night so clearly.
Because we had EO jumping off of the house.
Oh my gosh, and I was like, I'm gonna pick EO, and you were like, I mean, okay. And then all of a sudden, like, well, no, actually, that was Dylan. Dylan was more like, oh, okay.
Well, it was because we had
Charlotte and Rhea
also in that match.
I was just like, yeah, whatever.
But
that was such a good match.
So In Your House is an older pay-per-view from the 90s that has kind of died out, or did die out, and then NXT brought it back, and they're kind of doing that.
Rebranded it a little bit.
Because they're doing that with Great American Bash, which is in, I think, like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like July 6th, like right after.
And they've done Halloween Havoc, which also used to be a pay-per-view.
10 out of 10. I love Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, I do too.
10 out of 10.
So this one is... They have a 90s feel to it every time that they do it. So
VHS tags.
It opens up with the whole, like 90s sitcom kind of feel to it, right? And so we have the recap of, like, all of the, matches that are going to happen, and they're all on these old VCR, like, TVs.
Oh, so good.
And we have the host, Todd Pettengill, who was... Okay, I am so sorry, hardcore wrestling people. I don't know who this man is.
I have no clue.
And I only know that he was the first host of In Your House. And that is why we have him. I'm sure that he was a wrestler back in the day, and I am sure he was probably good, but I legit don't know him at all, except
Beyond
for the host of this. But he comes out and, I mean, sporting a very interesting facial hair look.
What is that?
It was a very interesting goatee kind of combo type thing. It was weird.
It was weird.
But very 90s. He has that, like, radio announcer voice, and it's very, deep and lovely.
Coming soon to own on VHS.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, well,
very
DVD. But...
Very 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But we had a really weird musical guest.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it was kind of strange, because I get that we're in the 90s, and I get that we're doing the whole nostalgia type feel to it, but
you guys like this? Take our money.
Say what?
No, never mind. It was the whole nostalgia thing with a lot of companies right now. Like, oh, you guys like this? Here, go fetch it. Take our money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we had Naomi Fox, who...
yeah, what? Who
I don't...
wasn't singing?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely
the
not.
The worst lip syncing, almost as bad as that time I watched the Tonys and the Phantom of the Opera was lip syncing on that. That's another story, never mind anyway.
Exactly. I feel like we all know where we were when that happened.
That was the worst.
Or at least theater nerds like us know. So
yeah,
she comes out and, I mean, looks great. She's in this awesome, like, polka dot dress. And,
it was so cool.
But she comes out alone.
Yeah.
And it's this really, like high energy, like R&B, like dance music.
No backup dancers, singers, nothing. Just her.
No band.
Nothing.
No nothing. And I mean, this is the theme for the show, which is what she is singing.
Yeah.
Is the theme for Takeover. But
this could have a great moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess, like, they really weren't into it either, because they kept panning to the crowd. Like, they legit, like, would be on her, and then they would pan to the crowd, like pretty much every other minute. And I felt bad for her in that sense, because, I mean...
Do you think maybe there's a reason? Like, they already knew that, like, from the rehearsals before? They were like...
Maybe they knew that she
couldn't do it live.
Oh, my God. Like, it was...
I'm not perpetuating rumors. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, but it was bad lip syncing.
It was awful.
If you're gonna lip sync, like...
At least don't be 5 seconds behind.
That, but also, like, just sing it.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't I've never understood. Like, I understand if you're like Britney Spears and you are on a, like, 50 city tour and you have like choreography out the ass, and you have
J-Lo.
all these backup dancers, and you have so much going on. I can understand if you're going to lip sync for that, but this is one song at a wrestling event. You can sing it, even if you have just the karaoke track with you, which is basically what it could have been.
Which truly is what it felt like it was anyway.
Right. So, I don't know. It was just weird.
It felt like a RuPaul Drag Race, like, save.
Lip sync for your life.
That's what it felt like. The stage was empty.
It was weird.
It was weird.
And it's so different from the normal NXT music.
I mean, Poppy.
You could dress Poppy up as, like, a freaking Power Ranger. I don't know. Like, you could.
She's fine.
That's 90s. You could do that.
Oh my gosh, Pink Power Ranger. Yes.
That would work.
That'd be awesome.
And they've been doing everything with Poppy lately anyway. She was legit just on the show like last week or so.
And that hussy hugged Dexter Loomis.
She was
What a hoe.
Gina was not happy about that at all.
Not as unhappy as Indy was, but
that's okay.
Yes.
Poor baby.
Oh.
But so I don't know, it's just a weird energy to start off with, and I don't know if that set the tone for everything or like what, but it was weird.
Yeah.
So we have that and then we move into our first match of the night, which they have been surprising me for the past couple of takeovers about the opener. Because I did not think that, again, this one was going to be the opener.
You literally pulled a Kara and went, are they starting?
That is...
Shout out to Kara Hayes.
Kara Hayes, I love you so much. That's my favorite memory of you ever. We're at a... quick segue. We're at a... we got to see Clash of Champions when they came to Charlotte, which was awesome and really fun to watch. But
Lucky.
Wife of host of This Is a Work, David Two Dogs Hayes, Kara Hayes and I were getting our merch as you do at a wrestling event, and we were getting our shirts. And Kara's a huge Braun Strowman fan, and oh my god, like just the biggest fan.
Yes.
And his match started the show, and we were still down in the concourse, and his music hits, and you hear. And she goes, Shelby, we gotta go, and like pulls my arm, and I'm like, thank God I like had my drink like secure in my hand and paid for my shit, but like, by God, we were gonna see Braun Strowman enter. We got up there just in time for the match to start, and she was like, why would they put this on the first match of the card? That's so dumb. Why would they do that? Oh my God, it was so funny. But it surprises me every time because I mean, I don't know if it's a good strategy or not to have one of the best matches of the night be your first match.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's kind of how it went.
Yeah.
But, so we have our 6-man tag team winner-take-all match with MSK and Bronson Reed versus Legado del Fantasma, which is Joaquin Wilde, Mendoza, and Santos Escobar.
I was so stoked for this match.
I know you love Escobar.
Oh my gosh. I enjoy Escobar a lot, but I love Bronson Reed, and I have been a big fan of Bronson Reed for so long. And
he's been grinding, man.
I love him.
Yeah.
And he deserves it.
He does, because he is North American champion.
Yes.
And MSK are tag team champion. So the way that this match works is it is a 6-man tag match, but whoever gets pinned, not only do they lose their title, but everybody on their team loses their title.
Everybody.
So let's say like one of the tag team champs gets pinned, Bronson also loses his
title,
North American champion.
Yep.
So that just adds, and you know how I love my stipulation matches. I love them so much.
Yes, you do.
And so I was stoked for this match, and we start out, and you have, I mean, everybody, dogs will be very happy about this because everybody color coordinated.
I actually like the green on Bronson. He looks good in that green.
I know. MSK and Bronson were in green, like a really dark kind of green.
Well,
but it was very like
Disney villain color.
Yes.
That Disney villain lime-ish dark green that everybody knows is like, yeah.
And then Legado came out, and they were in like black and blues, and Santos had this awesome mask.
Oh
that
my gosh,
like
that mask was
half
awesome.
of a Punisher mask.
I was gonna ask you, was it Punisher?
It was.
I thought it was. Okay, I wasn't
And
crazy.
Wild and Mendoza came out with their masks that they've been doing.
Oh.
I wish that they would wrestle in them.
I know,
but I get it. They're like not the traditional lucha.
I know.
So
we need more lucha.
I agree.
Especially now that I've hooked you onto Lucha Underground.
Y'all,
But,
I'm late to the party.
dude, I've been talking about this for months.
I know, but I'm still on season 1, so we need to catch up. But
anywho,
so we have Wesley and Mendoza, and they start, and I just love Wesley so much.
so it's so funny. Listeners, I'm sorry, this is going to sound dumb. I, for real, just always thought his name was Wesley. I did not realize it was West Lee.
So Wes
Lee.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the joke.
Well, I fell for it. So it wasn't until the other day I was sitting there going, oh, I get it now.
Yes. Well, it's because, they say it all together. It's like my name.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Ray was my middle name for the longest time. And now it actually is, which is really funny.
And it's like, oh, full circle.
I love it. But it's funny because Escobar just completely doesn't want to wrestle Bronson at all. Because he's been, in Bronson's words, squishing him for the past couple of weeks.
Literally. He squished the piss out of him.
Through the barricade and through the chain fence and all that good stuff. So he basically, the entire match is just evading him at all costs, is tagging out whenever he tags in.
He's like, oh, okay, bye.
Which I love that because it sets it up for the inevitable, right? Like
the beating of a lifetime.
Exactly. But there's obviously a lot of spots that are through this, but like there's this one spot.
I think I know where this is going.
It was where MSK are holding, I think it's Mendoza. Either Mendoza or Wild, I can't remember. But one has his arms and the other has his legs. And then Bronson just runs and does a backdrop like onto him as they're holding him.
Yeah, but the thing that was so funny was that as they were moving, they were swinging.
Yes.
So it almost was like, this kid's trying to jump onto a swing that's already moving. Like,
that's pretty much his style, though, because he's so big. Like, y'all.
And that's why I love him.
Bronson is like, I think
it was
330 pounds.
Yeah, that's what they announced at the ring. 330, because I was like, what the shit?
And he can do such good high flying shit, and it's just great. And then they have like a whole series of like over the top spots where like each person gets a chance to like do some flippy shit over the ropes, which we all love the flippy shit. Like,
yeah,
it's just...
I had actually wished for more in this match.
You think? Yeah,
I did. I wanted more, especially at least like that rope play stuff that they do. Sorry, that sounded more than I meant it to be. That's not what I meant.
You didn't have to say it.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
David,
don't look at me like that. Leave me alone. It's not what I meant. Yeah, back away. Back away.
We're having way too much fun with this today, y'all.
Yay. When they do when they, use their back and they go bam off the rope and they just are going like pinballs in a pinball machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted more of that, and then also like doing some literal flips, like jumping over each other.
So like quicker pace.
Yeah. I think. But that was just me being nitpicky.
I think it's because, and this is something that, we're going to get into with our main event later, you have a bunch of like high flyers in the ring, and then you have Bronson, who is bigger and can do some high flying stuff, but definitely not on the same caliber, right? Like that it's just some of the stuff that MSK can do is physically impossible for him to do.
Yeah.
Unless I'm sure there are people out there who are as big as him who can do that stuff, but there's just a pace that I feel like you have to be able to keep up with to be able to do that.
Yes.
So I thought it was a good balance of the high flying stuff that we love and the destruction and rampage and like stuff that we would get from Bronson. So I feel like maybe eventually if he keeps teaming with MSK, maybe he'll get to that point.
I'm going to keep this in the back of my mind for later because I saw it in your eyes as you started saying it, and I was like, we're going to save this for a different conversation.
And I said that we were going to talk about it later on in the episode. I know what I'm saying.
Like, I watched the gears in your eye go, Oh, shit.
It's fine. It's fine.
We'll come back to that.
I can admit when I'm wrong. It's
we
fine.
can come back to it.
But there's one spot that we just have to talk about.
Is it what I think it is?
It is when Escobar does the Michinoku driver
Holy
on Bronson.
Oh my
Again.
gosh.
330 pounds.
We all literally just I felt like my jaw hit the floor.
I thought his head bent back is what I thought at
Oh
first.
my gosh.
But when you look at it from a different angle, he hits it perfect. And it's just...
It was glorious.
And he had been teased...
Glorious.
Aw.
There you go.
What a great theme.
Oh,
I miss that theme.
F for respects.
Exactly.
Ugh.
But it was so impressive. And he'd been
gosh.
teasing it the entire match. So
I know.
He would go to lift him and then nah. And then go to lift him again.
Not
and
yet. No, you gotta be quicker than that.
Exactly. But it's just so good. I'm so proud of him for doing that. I know I sound like a mom, but
oh my gosh, he's like when he does stuff like that. That's when I'm like, yes,
yeah,
yes.
He's great. And then we have this awesome spot toward the end where Escobar basically does a fuck this moment. And goes and gets the title.
Oh yeah, he's like,
you know what? I'm tired of this match. I'm just gonna take this, and now this is mine.
And this is where we hit pause.
He looks at the camera and just screams.
It was at this moment that he realized he had done fucked up.
Exactly. So he looks at the camera and just goes, ah! And then starts to walk away. And Bronson runs into frame and just completely piles through him. And they both go through the barricade and the fence and the plexiglass.
And die. No, they don't die.
I mean,
Santos totally should have.
The plexiglass almost fell on top of them.
It did.
And they're just laying there. And I'm like, all right, well, they're done.
It's like, all right, match is over.
But no, it wasn't.
Because why not?
Because we go to the finish where we have Nash Carter has Wild on his shoulders.
Yep.
And Wesley gets to the top, and I don't know the technical name for this, but I'm going to explain it in my layman's terms.
Got it.
So he jumps, grabs Wild by the shoulders and head and neck area and twists, and then throws him down.
Yes.
So he does that, and then you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna pin now, and then you're like, oh wait, no, Bronson is the legal man. And then you see him climb up the top rope, and he just does a splash. Not a frog splash.
No.
Not any splash in particular. Just a splash. And just completely Wild just goes through the mat right into the ground.
He turns into a puddle.
1, 2, 3.
Boom.
They retain.
Yep.
We still have champions.
Can I guess what you had? And I didn't even look at the actual, what you wrote down, to be totally fair.
Sure.
I asked her, just to remind myself of the order, what the order was. 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
No, because I feel like it was honestly on par with best match of the night for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Which again is great, but also makes me scared, right? When you are in the moment and you're watching it and you're like,
yeah,
shit, that was really good.
Yeah. And then you're like,
whatever's going to come after that is going to really have to be great.
That might also just be our perspective because we know this business. We're starting to really delve into this business.
Yeah.
Because early on us would have been like, yeah, this is going to be great. It's going to be a great night. It's just going to keep getting better from here.
And then we burn out by midway through the night, and then we fall asleep and we crash.
Which is why I took a nap before.
Hey, love it.
Thanks.
We love a good nap.
Naps were great.
But I did want to say I loved MSK's reaction to Bronson's splash because they basically sold it like the ground shook. Because they were they're great.
They're awesome.
And I don't understand because the crowd basically doesn't like them. And I don't understand.
I don't either.
I mean, they're so great.
The camp is perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
We need silliness in wrestling to balance it out. We just do. Not everybody has to be, serious all the time.
I mean, and it makes me kind of sad because it's Breezango's like that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if they let them be like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's let them be like that. Now you let these guys do it, and now they're not gonna. Now they're gonna be scared to let. Well, I don't want to predict that. That's me knocking on wood. I don't want to say nothing because I love me some Breeze.
Oh gosh.
And Fandango is actually great. I really like Fandango.
He's grown on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him a lot now.
So
Next.
in between the matches, they have these. They've been doing this lately on the takeovers.
Yes.
They have these really great like promos, and for this one, they were doing 90s segments. Like they were basically like there was one where Mackenzie Mitchell was with Todd, the host of the
What's
show,
his face?
and he was like, Mackenzie, hey, I really want to watch, this the build up to Xia Li and Mercedes match, but I can't find the VHS anywhere. Like, can you help me out? And she's like, we don't have that anymore. It's called Peacock, and we don't, you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but I had everything converted to this VHS right here, and I really need a VCR. Like, can you get me one? Like, silly stuff like that. And they did that all the way through, which was cute and campy. And, and they had some, segments with different promos to promote stuff for the future that wasn't on the takeovers and stuff. And, but our next match was a singles match with Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
What did you think of this one?
Her hair is awesome.
It is awesome.
Xia Li came out with some brand new woven in. It looked like yarn. It truly looked like that Michael's yarn that you get from the knitting section in the back there. Bright turquoise blues,
it was like little
reds,
balls,
yellow,
like the little puff balls.
Then it was like they took fabric and sewn it in, like thread it through her hair. It looked awesome.
It looked so heavy, though.
It did look heavy. It looked like a butt and a half to
yeah,
carry around
because she
on
kept
your
like
head.
swinging it around.
Oh
like,
my gosh,
match.
my hair! Oh, that hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I liked the end, but not the end of the match. What happened after? And to be honest, I'm so upset because I really can't remember anything else about this match, and it breaks my heart saying that.
Yeah, it sucks because this is Xia Li's first takeover match.
That's upsetting as hell. Especially knowing that now.
Yeah, this was her very first.
Oh,
I mean,
love
she
her.
probably was in maybe like a, battle royal with like 20 other women or, something like that on a pre-show of some sort. But this is her first singles takeover match.
Yeah.
And it just, this was the match that I was talking about that should have been replaced.
Yeah, you were not pleased about it.
The pre-show match. I wasn't. I was not happy with it because Mercedes did not carry her weight.
No.
During this match, she just didn't. There was a spot on the outside where Xia tried to throw her back in the ring, and she didn't even get back in the ring.
It's almost like they just weren't on the same wavelength at all, and that Xia was just trying very hard to be like, come on, like she was trying. Bless her heart.
They didn't mesh.
They don't mesh.
They didn't mesh well at all, and it just
maybe that's why. That's why they. I don't know. It's just like didn't promote this rivalry for a reason.
No, and they didn't. And what's hilarious is the whole reason why we have this match is because something that happened 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That she's saying she's mad about when we haven't so basically
never mentioned.
To set up friends, like they had a match at the first ever Mae Young Classic.
Yes.
Which was 4 years ago. They had a match. Mercedes beat her, and this is why Xia wants to challenge her at this takeover. It makes no sense.
None.
None you have no story for this. No one cares about it. But you have this character in Xia Li that is just, they have it. It's a gold mine. Like they keep going with it like they were doing. Like, she didn't need to be on this takeover. Like, I want her to be on a takeover eventually, but this one was not the one.
No. And not only that, maybe, I don't know what's happened. I was more invested in that Caden Carter and what's that sweet little...
Casey Catanzaro.
Thank you, Casey's. Mm-hmm. That feud between them, because that's where it started for Xia to, suddenly switch.
Well, it made more sense because they were actually friends.
And they were real friends. You could watch it. You watched it. It's like, I mean, yes, if someone was that diehard wrestling fan that knew that from the moment on, Not to say that we're not diehard wrestling fans, but
yeah, but like I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had
exactly.
But it was because it was just a one-off match in a tournament,
and then it was used for something else later, which we'll get to eventually. And that's the only reason this match was in the cards, and that's exactly why I'm kind of like, dang, like. And then you're gonna step on her.
It should have been, honestly.
You could have done that on the next episode of on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Why didn't you?
Yeah.
In fact, why didn't you on Tuesday?
It makes more sense.
It's a Tuesday writing.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm going to start this. Creative was not on the ball for this. For a lot of different reasons. And I hate that I get on creative for, I say WWE, not NXT.
So when she says WWE, friends, she means Raw and SmackDown.
I do, because it's a different entity.
It really is.
And every time I say, oh, creative missed the ball on that one, I always associate it with SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that creative was not here tonight, and that makes me really upset
one.
for this takeover. No.
Yeah.
For a lot of different matches. And I can see in each match where like it just fell through.
Well, because you had Boa on the outside that did absolutely nothing.
And then he took a hit, and that was it.
He literally stood in front of Mercedes one time and got pushed out of the way.
Yeah.
So that she could get to Zaya.
Yeah.
Like,
no, she literally brushed him.
Yeah, he didn't even go up against the announce table. It was he just stood there. So he was useless.
Yep.
Because that's a pet peeve of mine. It's like, if you have someone on the outside, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What's their purpose?
Yeah.
Like, if it's not to interfere, then they don't need to be out there.
Exactly.
Like, what's the point?
Exactly.
I mean, unless you have a Paul Heyman that literally has the facial expressions of a genius.
But that's
different.
But yeah, that's what Robert Stone is. That's what
Exactly.
That's what, well, I was gonna say AEW, mention AEW. That's what Vicky Guerrero does.
Right.
Like, with her faces. Like, you do that for a reason.
Right. And it just really didn't flow.
No,
it didn't
not
make
at
any
all.
sense. And I mean, I'm just gonna cut to the go home, because really there wasn't anything in the match that was really worth it to me. I mean,
I remember
Zaya even misses her finishing kick. She misses it. She hits her on the shoulder instead of the chin.
Yeah,
like,
that was heartbreaking.
It was such a lackluster finish. So she
Yeah.
goes and does her kick, which she has been annihilating people with. Like, she literally, when she's been doing these matches, y'all, like,
her heads could have popped off.
and she literally just goes into the ring, kicks him, 1, 2, 3, match is over. And that's what I thought we were going to get with this match.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna literally just go.
Yeah, but we didn't.
She did that to the pole instead of. I remember that part.
Yeah, the post.
She
yeah.
kicked the shit out of that post, and I thought her shin had shattered. I really
It was honestly the only good sell of the match.
Honestly.
I know that's a terrible thing to say, because
feel
I'm sure that hurt so bad.
You know it did. Oh my gosh, I bet she has an internal bruise like nobody's business.
But so we have that finish.
Yep.
And it's not over.
No.
After that, which I was like, God, please. Like, it went on long enough as it was, and now we have this, like, 5-minute segment. So we have Boa, who slides a chair in to Zaya. And I'm like, that's where your first mistake was. She came to the ring with a sword. Why?
A really awesome bedazzled sword.
Why did you give her a chair from underneath the ring? She has a sword literally right here.
Liability.
I don't care.
There's a lot of paperwork.
Continuity is better than liability.
New shirt. Continuity is better. Just the greater than symbol.
So David, just add that to the list, please.
Write it down.
Yeah. So we have that, and slides the chair in.
Yep.
She goes to hit Mercedes, and Mercedes kicks her, and the chair pops out of her hand. Mercedes picks it up and hits Boa and Zaya repeatedly.
Over and over and over.
And what we haven't seen the entire match is Mei Ying, who is sitting on her throne at the top of the ramp. It cuts to her first time in the entire match that we have seen her.
We saw her before the match started, where she was sitting in that chair, because that's what she does. Is she's a looming, creepy figure with that. What is it? The grunge. What is it?
It looks like the girl from The Ring.
The Ring. Thank you. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah,
with the ring hair,
stringy hair.
Yeah, that gross Seth Rollins hair. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's gross at this point. So
yeah,
it cuts to her, and I mean, Zaya and Bo are just laying out in the middle of the ring, and and then she rolls Zaya out onto the ramp, and Mei Ying stands up from her chair.
Had never moved.
This is the first time that we have seen her move.
Ever.
At all.
Other than leaning in.
That was the biggest pop from the crowd that match got.
It was.
And that made me sad.
It did. It made me sad.
Because everyone's like, oh shit, she got out of her chair.
And
we've been waiting months for this.
And then she walked her ass over to Mercedes. Mercedes, and I'll never forget this, she goes, I ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
That bitch grabbed her by the throat and was like, say it again. I mean, she didn't say it, but she said it with her eyes, where she was like holding Mercedes up in the air with those long ass creepy nails. And but that's all I remember about this match.
She picks her up. Well, first she picks her up, and then Mercedes hits her with the chair, and she backs away, which I kind of got mad at.
I was like, she could have caught it.
Because I'm like, she's supposed to be this all-powerful dragon lady, right?
Literally, that's like her story.
And she gets hit with a chair once in the stomach and is like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
no.
it was just a weird choice, I think. And then she grabs her again and then throws her with all her strength against the barricade.
She could have just no-selled it.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking she would do. Is like, okay, if she's gonna get hit, obviously, like she's gonna no-sell it. But no, she like doubled over for a second and then regained her composure. But she throws Mercedes against the barricade. She crumples down. They all stand over her.
Dead.
And honestly, I thought that was gonna be the last that we saw of Mercedes.
Nope.
Because I thought that because there were rumors that she was going to go to Raw.
Oh, Lord.
To be with Eva Marie. That was the rumor. But it ended up being Piper Niven who did it. Which, that is a whole nother story that I'm not even going to get into because I'm pissed about it.
Like my Piper Niven UK?
Yep.
Oh, no, I don't even... Give me my drink.
Yeah, I'm not getting into it because we'll be here another hour.
That was me slamming down my drink.
So that isn't the last that we have seen from her, thankfully, because I hope she gets another shot at this. I really do.
I hope they both do.
It was really disappointing to me. I gave it 2.
That's fair.
Which, besides the Finn Thatcher match, I've never given anything a 2 on this show.
That's fair. I don't even want to dictate and joke about point anything.
Nah, it's a 2.
It's a 2.
It's a straight up 2.
Yeah.
And that is like my 1 or my 0.5.
Yeah.
That's like the lowest
That's
I
as low
usually
as you
give.
can go. That's your limbo.
So we cut to... Sorry, I just saw in my notes where we were.
It's where I giggled earlier.
So we cut to Tommaso Ciampa, who I love so much. I've loved him for so long.
You adore him.
Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, who has grown on me. And listeners of this show, you can pick your jaws up off the floor now.
Well, you know why?
Because I know I said I would never like this dude. But you put anybody with Thatcher, or you put anybody with Tommaso, and they're gonna win.
Well,
like they're just gonna get better.
Because he's not wrestling.
He's not. He hasn't wrestled in a while.
I think that's why it is.
So yeah, that's
you at least.
That's fair. That's fair.
But his promo game has gotten a lot better, and
has.
this is a grand example.
So we cut to, and they have their, their basic, like we're in front of a garage door type feel, and the camera's like a little bit down from where they are, so it's kind of looking up at them a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Ciampa is cutting his, great promo, and then all of a sudden, Thatcher pops up and starts yelling at the camera. And
takes the chair.
And it
kicks it off.
Honestly, it looks like something that wasn't planned because Tommaso did not stand up with him until later.
He literally kind of jumped too.
So the camera follows Thatcher, and then all of a sudden you see Ciampa pop up into the frame. I don't think it was planned. I literally think it was a shoot, promo, and he just went with it. And then
that's good though.
He wasn't yelling until Thatcher started yelling.
But that's good though.
And it was basically
good for you, Thatcher.
I know. It was
good for you.
It was a good note. Basically, it was promoting their Tornado tag match with Grizzled Young Veterans that was on the following Tuesday, which...
I didn't realize that was this Tuesday. I gotta go watch that.
You're gonna love it. It's it's the main event, and it's really great.
Oh, fantastic.
So... It gets to the end of their promo, and they're just staring at the camera, and it's silent for about a couple seconds, and then...
I can't look at you.
And then Thatcher goes, boo! And then runs. And that's when I fell over. It was great. I laughed. I laughed super hard, and I'm the first one to say when I am wrong. And I was wrong about him. I was. But he's got chops. He's got comedy chops. And I'm here I love my comedy wrestling. We have Toothless Timmy and Old Man Ciampa.
Toothless
And that's who we have now. And I'm fine with it.
Oh my gosh.
So we have that. And then it moves into our $1 million ladder match with LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the $1 million title, the $1 million title was created for Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase!
Exactly. And Ted DiBiase was this great wrestler.
Awesome.
And is...
Like 80s, 90s?
Yeah, I don't know the exact time frame, but it was around that time. It was when Stone Cold was kind of like... it was before Stone Cold was super big.
Yeah.
Because he was... I think the last person
he was the
to
last
hold
person,
it, I think.
They mentioned that on the...
And so the title kind of went away after that. And they have brought it back for NXT. And LA Knight and Cameron Grimes have been in this, like, I'm richer than you, I'm fancier than you, I'm better because I have a hot tub full of women and champagne and,
It's a wannabe... I'm the fastest, strongest, bestest.
Oh, it's totally a ripoff of EST. Absolutely. So we have, but it's with money. Like, because Cameron Grimes, everybody knows about his, GameStop, actually winning money through, or not winning, but I don't know I don't know what the term would be. Yeah. But he got money through stocks when all the GameStop stuff was going on. And so they have this match, and the build up to it has actually been really funny. And Ted DiBiase has had little vignettes where he's like outbid Cameron on a house, and he
just do it every time.
Yells out to the ether, screams out his name, and very, very campy, very overdramatic. But
awesome.
But it works with his style of wrestling,
just with everything about him.
And then you threw LA Knight into this feud, and I didn't get it at first. I really didn't because all you know of LA Knight is him just being a douchebag heel. And that's fine. That's a fine character.
It seems to work with the name LA.
It does. But
sorry,
to me,
people from LA.
It didn't make sense for him to be in this feud until this match.
Yeah.
Like, it really didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It didn't make sense at first, but now I get it.
Yeah.
And so we have DiBiase, who comes out to his theme song and has a clear briefcase with the title in it.
Awesome.
And the title's beautiful. It's got $3 signs and it's rhinestones.
Like covered, bedazzled.
You can't even tell it's really dollar signs.
And then, of course, when the light hits, it's like,
blinding.
My AD was like... Like, my ADD was like scrat. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's so shiny.
I was like, I want it.
And so then you have, everybody comes out, and we have this golden ladder that's at the top of the ramp. Mm-hmm. And then we have normal ladders all the way throughout. And at the very beginning of this match, I'm like, y'all.
No, I said that.
Okay. No. Cool. Sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, it was observed that the ladders, all the black ladders and the normal ones, were shorter than the gold ladder.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, to me, in my mind, I'm like, well, obviously they have to climb the golden ladder.
Yeah.
In my mind, right?
I got a golden ticket.
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, they started using all of the other ladders, and I'm like, y'all, it's clear you can't reach this.
Yeah.
Because at the end, Cameron points at it, I want the gold, and points to
the gold
ladder. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, man. Because
we were there 10 minutes ago.
It's the only one you can use. Are we the only ones that see this?
And that's the thing. It's like, I love camp, but that one was so obvious where I was like, all right, y'all, look here.
God, it was so funny though.
It was hilarious. I can't fault this match. I can't.
No, I loved it.
I can't fault this match.
I love a ladder match.
Well, I'll get to that later, but I cannot fault this match. for the actual moves and the spots and the actual creative did well with this one, as much as I sometimes hate to admit that, but for later reasons.
Like, it was good pace. Like,
yes.
Grimes really didn't get any offense in the beginning.
And LA Knight really, he stuck with the pace. He kept up. He kept up.
He's done, actually, this is probably the best match that I have seen him do.
Oh, hands down.
Because, I mean, I hate the character, but I'm supposed to, right?
He's really good at being a
God, I
douche.
hate it. Like, it's just filthy and dripping with, like,
misogynistic piece of
like, but that's how you're supposed to feel,
and
which is the sign
it.
of a great character heel. Like, you just, it's good. It's good. And I you can see it in my face right now, and listeners, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I hate that I'm saying that, but he's good.
There's a part of me that wants to do a segment now on our Twitter where it's immediate first reaction and then pan to day of when we record, because the difference is striking, astounding.
It really is, and
for both of us. I mean, in different ways and aspects.
But I feel like that's the joy of wrestling, right? You have your immediate reaction to things, and then you think about it later, and you're like, okay, now I see what they were doing.
Yeah,
you know. But we have this spot where it was a gross looking neck breaker.
So I remember that.
You have a ladder that's set up in the corner, but it was not set up facing like
the right
way. It was on its side.
Yeah, it was tilting a little bit.
And LA does a neck breaker on camera onto the side of the ladder.
Like he missed this, or I don't know. I don't think it was missed. I think it just was.
No, it's just the nature of the spot. Like LA got more of it than Cameron did.
Oh my gosh, he literally ate it, like all of it.
It looked brutal.
From the tip, of his cerebellum all the way down to like his toes. He just got wrecked.
It was brutal, and I know this. I say comments like this all the time. He earned some respect from me.
He did. Look,
by doing that move.
You've got a thing with people hurting themselves, and that's okay. That we just admit this and we move on. It's fine. Johnny Gargano, prime example. But Johnny deserves the respect.
I'm the type of wrestling fan that likes all the carnage.
But like there's a point where you gotta earn your keep. Like there's some things you gotta do.
Well, then
this is his time.
Exactly. He did, and that's like with Cameron. Like I have,
it's like initiation.
Exactly. I have liked Cameron from the beginning, partially because he is a North Carolina boy, but at the same time,
Burlington.
The first time I ever saw him do a standing Spanish fly,
oh my gosh,
in the middle of the ring, I was like, all right.
Cool.
I'm done.
Yeah,
that's great. You've convinced me. You don't need to sell anymore. I'm done. Right? Like once you do a move like that, then in my eyes, I'm like, okay, fine. You're willing to do whatever it takes to win this match and to put on a good match, and that's what LA did.
Yeah. And
I apologize to Dylan Rich for saying all of this, and I hope you're still my friend after this. That's all I'll say. Dylan, listeners, you probably have heard us say our friend Dylan does not like LA Knight at all. But I think he can even say like
he does.
It was a great match.
Yeah.
So Cameron has this awesome spot from the scaffolding.
Oh my gosh, he climbs up where all the lights are, right up there by Phoenix and all that.
Just does a like cross body onto the floor.
The only time, and there was no other spot in the entire show after this, no other pay-per-view part where anyone went higher than that.
That's true, and
I was disappointed about that. But it's also, I guess they couldn't copy last year's In Your House with EO jumping off the roof. But at the same time, I just was like surprised.
Yeah,
I was surprised by that.
Yeah,
I'm glad it was him though, because he nailed it.
Oh, he did.
Duh, he's
being the
to the moon,
the great hillbilly that he is. Right, I love it. So, fast forward to the finish, we have, and honestly, like this match was super back and forth.
Yeah,
like it was very high energy, fast paced. Like it really kept. I didn't know who was going to win this.
I genuinely put this as my favorite match.
You did?
I did.
Yeah, no,
I did, and that was baffling to me.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it earned it for sure.
I think the pace was phenomenal.
So you have Cameron, who's at the top of the ladder, and after he says, "I want the gold one," runs up gets the ladder.
Run a little arm run.
I mean, kind of does.
He does.
And then he is climbing up at the top and does the whole iconic ladder match.
I'ma get it.
And fingertips away.
That index finger
and then
just points.
LA climbs up the ladder.
Up the ladder.
And they exchange punches and then pushes Cameron onto a ladder that was set up earlier. And he goes through the ladder. LA grabs the briefcase. He's the $1 million champion.
And the worst part was that he like took his time getting up there too, being the most utter douche. That I thought that's when Shelby was going to actually lose her mind and like flip the couch that we all were sitting on.
Yeah, I would have too.
You really would have.
If I could have lifted it, I would have flipped the couch.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
I was upset about this match. I really was in the moment, and because everybody was behind Grimes.
We all there were chants saying "You still suck" too. To LA Knight.
So it started out with LA sucks at the beginning, and then he did a really cool move.
You still
and then
suck.
The crowd goes, "You still suck. You still suck." So they were, I mean,
but they're taking it. They're taking the characters.
They are, and after this match, Cameron's a face now,
and it's awesome,
and it's great.
I'm excited for the Grinch kind of transformation.
Oh, it pans out. It's great.
Oh, for real?
So,
man, I gotta watch this episode. I'm going straight home after this.
It's killing me that I can't talk about it more. To be completely honest,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I gave this match a 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have gone higher.
I would almost say 3.5 wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I think
I would say 3.5 for me.
To me, it wasn't better than the 6-man tag.
Okay.
So we can differ.
We
on
can
that.
differ on that one, but ultimately agree that it was 3.
Yeah.
Start material.
So we go into the NXT Women's Championship match, which is Ember Moon versus Raquel Gonzalez. And what did you think about this match?
I feel bad because I always remember the sparkly things. So Ember comes in, and she's got the skull that she always has on her hood, but y'all, she's bedazzled it. She went to Michael's and she went on a shopping spree.
She does that shit herself.
I know, she did, because I know exactly where she got that, on which aisle of Michael's, because
oh my God.
your girl knows that I've already got them at my house. So no, I know exactly where she got them. But yeah, I love her entire ensemble. The cross across her face that was just the straight glitter. She's really digging into her character, and I love it. I was interested in this match. I was interested when they announced it. Like, I was like, okay, I can see this working. I can see this being a match that not could tend to be number 1. I don't know if it would be number 1, but it would be up there. I was very hopeful for this match.
Yeah, because the stipulation behind it was Raquel injured Shotzi.
Exactly.
Who was Ember's
and
partner.
And Shotzi's my girl.
And
love me some Shotzi.
That was the motivation for this match.
It made sense. There was a story behind it. Genuinely, as wrestlers, I could see them going against each other. I could see that working. I could see Ember's, eclipse. Oh my gosh, that eclipse. And we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it started out a little wonky.
A little, but they picked it up.
They did. And to me, that was a little bit odd for both of them. I don't know if it was just nerves or what, but it both, they both just really, every spot in the beginning was just a little off to me. But it got better.
I'm trying to remember fully everything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, there were a couple of spots at the very, very beginning of the match that were just kind of like, oh. You can kind of tell it was like,
Do you think it might have been a height difference thing?
Yeah, because Raquel's almost 6 feet, and then Ember's like my height, which is like 5'3".
Yeah.
So I'm sure that does play, a role. But, I mean, Raquel, she's been improving not just in her strength, but in her moves, in her moveset. So she pulled out something that I'd never seen her do before, where she does a thing where she does a slam, but with a twist. So, she has Ember in the corner, and she goes up to, lift herself up and then twist in midair and lands, back first on her instead of front first. Yeah. Which I'd never seen her do it before. So she's pulling out new things, which means that she's
working.
Which I feel like a champion should do.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you shouldn't get stagnant. You
You're
shouldn't...
always striving to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, that's like that, I feel like, with everything, right? Like,
Yes.
even if you are at the top of where you should be, like, you should always still be, like, doing new moves and figuring new stuff out.
Exactly.
And, I mean, and I actually really love Dakota on the outside. At first, it was annoying, but I think she's gotten better at it because she doesn't bother me as much as she did.
She bothered me at that match.
Yeah? Why?
Because that was a really freaking good eclipse, and she just got pooped on.
So it bothered you for the right reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also feel like she can do way more.
Well, I think
Without Raquel.
what they're doing is the long haul for them.
Yeah, it's a long
because
haul.
what they're doing is eventually it's gonna play
happen.
out to where Dakota is gonna betray her.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how it's gonna work. Because now Raquel is more of the face than Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So even though they're both heels, like,
Yeah.
Dakota is the more like hee out of the two of them, right? That's what I think of when I think of a heel. But I mean, Ember hits that awesome eclipse.
Oh my gosh.
It
And
was
that's what they
picture
said.
perfect.
And that's what they said. If she hits the eclipse, she's done. That's
Yeah.
what they said.
They've been saying that the whole match.
That's like all in the, pre-video clips that they kept showing.
And that's good commentary too, because they keep
It
that
was.
continuity going.
And Mackenzie commented on it as well. Oh, yeah, it was
And
good.
so she hits the eclipse,
Boom.
2 count, and then you just see Dakota run into frame, pop Raquel's foot on the rope, and then run away.
Like, it was so
It was
fast.
so
It
fast.
really did take me a minute, and then I was like, no!
And that's why I like her. And that's why I like her, because she pops in when it's necessary for her to be a distraction.
Yeah, true. I'll give you that.
And she's not the like on the outside. She used to be.
She did.
But she's
And I'm
toned
glad
it down.
that's
and
fair.
it's more palatable for me.
That's
now.
fair. No, I'll take that. Because I kind of was going to roll my eyes and be like, chicanery!
Yes. But
it's,
we love and hate chicanery at the same time.
Chicanery for our people is good. Mm-hmm. Chicanery for not our people is not okay. We don't
That's
like
the difference between shenanigans
and
chicanery. Love it. So, but it ended up with your girl coming back.
Shotzi!
So Shotzi runs out, and this was honestly my favorite part of the entire match, because what happens is
Dakota's face.
we have Dakota facing the camera, and Shotzi just runs out from the back and doesn't even turn her around, just touches her on the shoulder, and Dakota books it.
Dakota's like,
doesn't even see who's behind her.
Nope, she's gone.
Which I'm like, respect.
Truth.
Because if
Someone touched me by.
if I am standing by myself and someone comes up behind me and touches me, I'm gone.
Deuces.
Like,
Deuces.
fight or flight, right? Like, I would just go. So I get it.
Especially after doing something like that. Bye.
Right, like, it was right after she had done the chicanery. So, like, obviously, like,
Bye.
yeah. So they run around the ring, and then they fight up on the ramp, and Shotzi throws Dakota into the plants that are outside of the house.
Right
Which is
there.
the first time in the entire takeover that we have used the house set.
That is
Was
true.
for this match. Which was
think
also a little bit strange to me.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it was the only one, but no, there's one other spot.
No, it took the semi-main for them to even, like, get close to the house.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Which Dakota actually did make a funny, like, comment about it on Instagram where she was like, I'm a plant mom, and it really hurts my heart that she threw me into the plants.
Good stuff.
Because Shotzi, like,
Good stuff.
makes a comment like, some plant mom, and like posts the picture of her in the plant bed.
Woof, woof, woof.
So they, she picks her up and they fight out into backstage, which was the garage, right?
Yeah. Oh, except for that one part where we were both at the same time. So in theater, you walk with purpose. This is something that you do. Everyone who knows theater understands what we're talking about. When you exit the stage, there are some parts of the theater where people will still see you. So you exit all the way until you literally hit the wall with purpose.
It's called sightlines.
It's sightlines. Mm-hmm. Sightlines will see you. If you can see them, they will see you. walk off with purpose. They literally stopped. Shotzi and Dakota did it, and I was like, what the shit? Like, the camera can move.
It was one of those, oh God, what was it? The gobbledygooker? Do you guys remember that? At one of the pre-shows, the gobbledygooker came out, and the person who was in the costume, like the camera, and I'm sure, David, this has something to do with the camera, like camera crews and the cuts and everything, but like they had the camera on them and they legit were running and fighting and then just broke character and then just walked off. That's exactly what happened.
It is what happened
with Dakota and Shotzi.
And
It's
like,
bad
what?
cue timing. That's all it is somebody in the booth should have been saying cut to camera, whatever,
Okay.
a lot earlier, because I'm sure that when it comes to this sort of cinemagic,
I mean,
let's
you
go ahead
ain't
and call
wrong.
it that.
Yeah. Ooh,
They
trademark that.
They only choreographed so much, and then once they hit the end, it's like, okay, back up, hands up, we're good, and they just didn't cut away fast enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happened, because they were fighting and brawling, and then legit, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them legit turns around and walks.
Dakota.
Yeah, like she's in the
just
middle of
walked off,
punching
and I was
Shotzi
like-
in the face, and then just completely drops character and walks down the stairs and goes.
And I was like, what?
It was really funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
But so they leave, and then the finish goes to Raquel stopping an Eclipse. She catches her.
Ugh, stupid.
Catches her in midair, counters into that awesome power bomb, which I wrote it down, and I'm scared to say it because I'm scared I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Chigona.
Okay.
Apparently it means badass woman,
Hell yeah.
and that is the name of her power bomb now.
I like that.
I do too.
I like that she's going into her like actual heritage.
Yeah.
And just going with that.
I think it's Chigona. I think is what it is.
Okay.
But so into the Chigona power bomb, 1, 2, 3, she retains. Now, I didn't think Ember was going to win.
I did.
I'm going to be completely honest.
I really wanted her to.
It's not time for Raquel to lose the belt.
I know.
It's just too soon.
I know.
It's too soon for her to do it, and I would have loved it if it was Ember, because we all love her. But I don't think she'll have another shot at a title. I don't know if it's going to be with Raquel, but I think she'll have another shot at it.
She better get it soon.
So, I mean, kind of clunky in the beginning, but I think overall it was good. So I gave it a 3.
That's valid. 3. Yep.
It was pretty solid. We do have a Dexter Loomis segment where it was literally just the host, Todd Pettengill, and him playing like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It's like that, but like it was with like Animorphs or something. I can't remember what those things were called, but I know exactly what they are, and my brain just can't.
To me, all I see is the Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It's that,
the blue and the red. So they're playing that, and then he just makes an offhanded comment of like, "So how are the ladies treating you these days?"
And he just stares, and then he grabs Tom's little action figure and starts squeezing. He goes, "Okay, you win, you win, you win."
And then he backs away.
And he lets it go, and Dexter just walks away.
Yeah.
I want them to go and get together.
It's the long game.
It sucks.
See,
they're really good at it here in NXT, and I'm not used to it.
We say we like the long game, yet you're like, no, I want it now.
Like,
but it's. I think it's cute. I think there are some corners of the internet that don't necessarily like this backstage romance thing, but I mean
it's fun.
It's fun. You can't always have serious hardcore wrestling.
No,
you got to have something silly to break it up every once in a while.
Just
right?
remembering when he was carrying her off, and she's just like pretending to be asleep, and then she wakes up. She's like, "Ding!"
Does
like,
the whole
like tongue
wink.
out wink, like. Got him.
It's so cute. I love it. Eventually, it's gonna happen,
Absolutely.
And then hopefully they will do better than the Buddy Murphy.
I'm
Shout
out to Doug.
I'm blanking on.
No, it's Ray's daughter.
Aaliyah?
Rey
Mysterio's
daughter.
Whatever. It doesn't matter because it didn't work.
Nope.
They dropped it and forget it like it ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we move into our main event, which is it's the NXT championship match, the Fatal 5-Way, with Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, Adam Cole, and our champion, Karrion Kross. So
This is where it's gonna get real for us, y'all.
This is where I don't know if we're gonna be divided on this or not.
It sounds like you have made some other thoughts to this, but we'll see. But I have also made some other thoughts on this as well. But I don't think it's the way you think it's gonna be.
So, and I love when we have differing
It's
opinions.
fun.
I think
this is the
fun.
first time. I really did think at first after that pay-per-view on Sunday, I was scared we were like gonna fight.
Honestly, I mean, listeners, we weren't really gonna fight.
No,
but we had such differing opinions.
Yeah.
First opinions on this match. I did not like this match.
She did not at all, and I was ecstatic about this match.
So, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm such a huge Adam Cole fan.
Yes,
That
Die Hard Mark.
I am terrified that if they don't give him something, he's gonna go to Raw or SmackDown.
I don't think that
I'm
would,
scared.
though.
I'm scared.
How long has he been here?
That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
To some people, it doesn't matter.
To him, it does, though.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. But I mean, if you dangle enough money in front of people, sometimes
I don't know.
You know-
His girlfriend just got the title at AEW. They got enough money.
I don't know about that. But I'm just saying. I don't know how much she makes.
I don't either.
We can't speculate.
That's true.
But I'm just that is always
I can
in the back
understand
of
that
my
fear.
mind.
I can
because
understand that.
They're already taking Finn away.
It's confirmed.
I mean, it's not confirmed, but he hasn't been seen on TV or anywhere.
I can't, dude.
And Raw has been saying that they want him for months, and Triple H has been like, dude, he's in the middle of a storyline, chill out. Like, we need to get through this first. He's our champion. You can't just pluck him out. So they gave Cross the title.
Stupid.
He lost it again. He lost against him for the second time. And I'm like, if he loses the second time, he's gone.
Yeah.
Because Raw is so desperate for ratings
anything
that they need something. So that's what, I mean, he has said that he wants another shot at a main roster
That
run.
makes no sense.
It doesn't to
It
me
makes
either.
no sense.
But
he got shat on so many times. Like, why?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
But so they already took one of my wrestling husbands away, and I don't want them to take the other one.
I'm
So
defensive.
I am defensive, and I'm like that with a lot of things. You know that about me. So
I do.
I am just scared that if he doesn't have something like a title or a really good run or a really good story, that he's gonna go. And I know that might not be the case. He may be one of those lifers, but he's so good.
Yeah.
Like he really is. So
Yeah.
that's why I think I was initially mad about this match. Because I was like, if he wins, he has the title and he can't go.
Yeah.
So I went back and I watched it, and I think some of my opinions have changed. Not all of them,
I agree.
but I think some of them.
I agree with that statement as well.
So I want to get that off my chest.
I have faith. I don't think he's going anywhere, but I can understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
And I can see that. I totally see that.
I'm glad we're talking this out.
Yes. Good therapy session, guys. It's fine.
But
Our abandonment issues are coming out now.
I am so happy that we have Adam Cole has the boom and the Bebe back.
Oh, that was so sweet. It was so sweet.
So satisfying. So he comes out, everybody says boom, everybody says Adam Cole Bebe.
Bye-bye.
And the crowd's back and they say it with him.
It was awesome.
And I'm like, tear rolling down my face. But Cross does have the best entrance.
You can't deny it. It's just the best entrance
listeners,
on the planet.
If you haven't seen it, you just look it up.
Gosh.
Because it is across all brands.
All brands.
It is the best entrance by far. And
Truly.
Yeah.
I mean,
but so here's
I would even put it above Robert Roode's The Glorious. Even before that, like, is better.
It's theatrical, it's interactive,
it's scary.
It's fun.
It's good camera work too.
So this is my main issue. Mm-hmm. To me, this should have been a fatal 4-way.
Yes.
For a number 1 contendership shot.
I agree. We
should have had Cross on the outside, watching the match the whole time.
Absolutely.
And it should have been a fatal 4-way.
This is, okay, I'm glad we're seeing this because creative, and this is where I discovered it. This was creative's way of trying to put a puzzle together that didn't fit. Mm-hmm. And not because it couldn't, but just because they chose to not finish it.
It's like you have...
And that's what pissed me off about this, because we've seen Cross. We've seen Cross with freaking Finn. Mm-hmm. We've seen it twice. I've seen him wrestle God knows how many people. Mm-hmm. He can hold his own. He doesn't have to go off the side and go take a breather 5 minutes and come back. Mm-hmm. That's creative's choice. And that's what I decided. I was like, this is creative choice. Trying to fit more than they can. They're trying to eat more than what's available on their plate.
It's like when you are at the end of your puzzle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you have one piece, but you've kept your puzzle in the attic where it's been really hot and the piece has warped, and you're trying to fit it into the puzzle.
This is just very oddly specific.
And you want it to fit, right? You want it so hard to fit, but it just won't, because it's warped on the edges, and it's like fitting a round hole in a square peg, or square peg in a round hole, something like that. But it won't fit. It just won't fit.
I too love metaphors.
Yay, David commentary.
I was really proud of that one.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Thank you. So it just, it felt weird to me, because the action picked up when Cross was out of the ring. And what would happen is they would all have a go at him, and he would be this like, rawr, like big monster dude, right? That like, I'm going to clothesline you, and then I'm going to clothesline you, and you're going to be like, I'm incapacitated, like I can't see straight, right? But then you get hit once, and you roll out of the ring, and then for the next 10 minutes, everybody goes to town.
And that's the thing that was pissing me off, and it wasn't because Cross was unable. Because Cross, and I know, because I'm going to not call you up, but just, I know this was a fear of yours. Mm-hmm. He is not Brock Lesnar. His character is chosen. He's very into his character. He's into his choices. He's into his entrance. He cares about what he's doing. And I can see that in here. And he can wrestle 7 million times better. So I was frustrated that all his moves were just the suplexes and all of that, and I could see why you said that at the time, being like... So
listeners, when we were watching it, I did make the Brock Lesnar comment.
She did.
Okay, so we're gonna pull a Brock Lesnar, we're gonna suplex everybody and leave?
And then I was like, wait, this is not him. This is not him.
I was starting to get angry. That's why I said that.
She was getting grumpy. She was getting very angry.
I have been obsessed lately, and listeners, I'm sure hardcore wrestling fans already know about this. I've been obsessed with PWG right now.
You are.
And it felt, when it was the four of them in the ring, it felt like I was watching PWG. It felt like I was watching ballet. Like the sequences.
I have yet to watch PWG, so.
Listeners, if you haven't, and Gina, if you haven't, like, you need to. Yeah. Like, it is so fun to watch. It's fast paced. It is like ballet. That's what it looks like. It looks like wrestling ballet. It's just all intertwined with one another. And that's what it reminded me of. And I was having fun when I was watching that.
Yeah.
And then we had Cross come in, and it just felt like a dead stop.
And the thing that I just think that's been bothering me, and what's been on my mind the most, is that this match set up the perfect spot where Cross could be in the middle, and they could do the ping pong. Everyone in the corner, they all just go, bang, 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 and they just keep going at him, and then he does the roar, and he does like the shake off of it. Like, there were so many other moments.
Like the Keith Lee.
Literally. Yeah. You could have literally recycled it, and we would have been happier with it.
Yeah, we would have bought it.
We would have been like, yes, this makes sense. So that's why I'm like frustrated that creative like just sat there and was like, similarities. Yeah. We'll ignore it.
Well, what I was thinking when I went back and watched it a second time, I felt like, and this goes back to the Bronson comment that I made earlier.
Yes.
About stamina.
Yes.
You have four of the best wrestlers on that roster.
Yeah.
And arguably in that brand.
Honestly, truthfully, that's a true statement. Yes.
And they have the cardio and the stamina to go for 30-minute matches, 60-minute matches, Iron Man matches. Like, they've done all of it. I don't think Cross has that conditioning yet.
No, and I said that verbatim to Dylan yesterday at lunch. Because he saved my day and took me to AAA.
Yes.
And then we had lunch later. But I was saying that exactly to him. I was like, Cross is a heavy lifter, while everyone else is like, you know, the 5K, and he's, you know, doing the sprint running. Mm-hmm. They're trained to do different things, but that doesn't mean you need to keep them separate. You can still do events and things together. You just need to work better with the choreography for it and for the way it worked out. Yes, looking back, it was almost like 2 different matches when Cross was in there, and then when the 4 other, you know, Speeds-a-lots were in there. And I want to go ahead on the record, because I thought about it, and I was thinking about it. I was very annoyed, listeners, when the only move that Kyle O'Reilly did in this match was kicking. But I went back and I thought about it, and I was like, I know he's trying. I know he's trying to find his footing. I know he's trying. He's the jiu-jitsu guy.
That's his thing.
And I get it. You just need to vary up the legs, my dude. Just it can't always be your right foot kicking every time. I just want to. If you're listening, love you. You're getting there, but just kick with the other foot.
That's
occasionally.
fair.
Occasionally.
And I mean, we had a lot of spots that were so great.
Oh, phenomenal.
I mean,
Yes.
we had the spot with, you know, Johnny and Pete throwing Carrion through the door.
Pete.
We had, you know, Adam and Kyle putting Cross, I'm not going to say through the announce table because it didn't break,
but
power bombing him onto the announce table.
Absolutely.
So we had a lot of great spots. So basically that's what they would do, is they would throw him somewhere and
Yeah,
then
and
go
then
wrestle for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then he would pop back up. And I mean,
That's what I even said in the beginning, because when the match started, all 4 of the guys just went at for each other.
Yeah.
And Cross stood there and went, I'm
All
going
right.
to watch this. Mm-hmm. All he had to do was go and sit with the announcers, and that made the match.
I would have loved that.
That would have been freaking great.
Because it would
You
have
listening, Hunter? Love you. Listen.
would have established him more as a heel.
Exactly.
Which, not going to get into it too much.
Yes.
But the next episode, I was more impressed. Because the character does develop a little bit with him.
Ooh,
so
fun. Yay.
I am happy with it now. I wasn't
going straight
happy.
home to do that.
I wasn't happy with him at the end of this match, but I'm happy with him now, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
So, I mean, even though we just shat on it for a bit,
Overall,
I really loved it.
yes.
Because it was
It's-
it was fun and it was really good. Pete Dunne, really impressed.
Pete Dune
Yes.
did phenomenal. I actually turned to you and I was like, I was really impressed with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just the ripping the Fendies, the fingers and the tendies.
Which is his thing.
Fendi is a bag. Fenty is no, that's another brand. But yeah, he really did. And there was one move, I can't remember what it was, but he was near the announce table for a while there after the move. Mm-hmm. But somebody just wrecked him, and he took that, and the sell was really good. I remember that in the back of my mind being like, dang, that was a really good sell that he just did.
Like everybody stepped up and everybody did a great job with it. I just wish the finish to me felt a little lackluster with such an eventful match.
And
because the finish
this is where we're gonna
Yeah, so the finish was Kyle has Adam in a heel lock, which is his new thing now, and
it's a good lock.
Heel lock submission, but Cross comes up behind Kyle and puts him in a headlock.
Yeah, he did the peekaboo up above him.
Yes. And then Kyle is really doing some great selling with this headlock choke. I mean, eyes bulging out, rolling in the back of his head.
He started like foaming a little bit.
He did, and then Adam is actually on the verge of tapping from this heel lock, which I'm like, okay, this is exciting.
Yes.
Like, is Kyle gonna pass out or is Adam gonna tap?
Yes.
Like, how is this all gonna work? Because if Adam taps, then like Kyle wins.
Yeah.
And Kyle's champion.
Yes.
Right? So, but it doesn't go that way, and Kyle starts to fade, lets Adam go. Adam rolls out of the ring. Kyle passes out.
Yes.
Match is over.
Yes.
To me, it was anticlimactic because you had such great pace throughout, minus the Cross coming in and kind of stopping stuff. You had such great pace, and then something like a choke out to the point of passing out. I don't ever like that, because to me it seems so like dead stop with the energy, and it just takes all the air out to me. Yeah, I would much rather have it be a tap out submission rather than a pass out one.
And I get why you say that. Based on this match, though, that's impossible, because every single one of these men in this ring are stubborn and have the tenacity to do it, which is where I'm coming back with the statement about Cross being the heavy lifter, being the sprint man. He can sit there and choke someone out. And these guys, like, they have the lung capacity to last a long time, which is why it's more lackluster.
Right.
I think that's what it is. If Adam Cole had not rolled out and just fell over, stayed in the spot, Cross stayed and choked him out right there, it would have been a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's true, because you wouldn't have had Kyle in the center of the ring by himself.
But it still conveys his character. I like Cross choking someone out because it gives the heel aspect. He's literally not just doing it for the tap out, like everyone, all the villains and all the heels do the tap out where they're like, ha ha, and then they hold on for a little bit longer. Oh, look at this, I'm choking.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that he's like, no, like, you're not going to move when I'm done with you.
Yeah. No, and I get that. I get that
and
point,
I get
too.
It. But I think that that's a good compromise if we had that match where Adam just, like, laid there for a bit and didn't move, didn't roll out. And then you could have just seen Kyle, like, just give up, and then that would have been it.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a happy medium. Because you're right. That was exciting to see that, like, oh, shit, like, who's it going to be? But
I guess, like, for me, like, he has a finisher where he hits someone in the back of the head, and that's what knocks them out.
That's true.
So
and we haven't seen that in a while.
We saw it with Finn.
Yeah.
That's how he won against Finn, and that's how he won the title.
And it was brutal.
I would have preferred that over the
I can
choke
see
out.
that. I'll take that. I can take that.
So if he came up behind...
Yeah, and then he just boom, and that would have been it. And then Adam just laid there. I can see that. I can see both. I like both. I'm interested to see what it would have looked like with that. But yeah, I can understand that. I understand that.
Yeah. So, I mean, all shit talking aside from it, I gave it a 4.
Yeah, a valid 4.
To me, it was still one of the best matches of the night. I think it rivaled the first match that we saw with the 6-man tag. I mean, it was interesting because usually when we have something like that, Cross retains, Scarlett comes up, they do the pose with the fall and pray. You know, we have all that, and then usually
Scarlett not chicaneering either.
Oh, we didn't even see her.
No.
So she comes out. You think, okay, great, this is the end. No, it's not the end. It doesn't fade to black. It doesn't have the trademark symbol that comes up at the bottom of the screen. Nope. It cuts to Mackenzie Mitchell with William Regal in the back.
All hail.
All hail our king, William Regal. Mackenzie finds him in the back, and you can tell that he's been crying.
He's upset, y'all.
For the past few weeks.
I mean, almost at this point, almost 2 months. It's like been constant, like,
fights in the back.
Like just tear each other's throats out kind of like fights.
Like security holding everybody back. William Regal in the middle, just like trying to play mediator. And so this has been going on for a while, and he comes out of his office. He looks exhausted. You can tell he's been crying in his office, and he says, I've been GM of NXT for 7 years, and I've never seen this much bedlam. And I think it's time for a change.
So, of course, at that point...
turns and he walks, blackout. No music, no nothing.
And we were all just
and this is when we are all in a puddle. No! Because it sets it up and you're like...
No.
There's no way that you're going to take our Regal
literally
from us.
our means of rating what we do. No. So we were very upset at the end of that show.
It was...
that takeover.
And this is... I'm not going to talk a lot about the following show, but you do know about this.
I do know this.
So, Samoa Joe is now in NXT.
Yay!
Which
Muppet arms!
I was very excited when I heard this news. I was kind of sad that it wasn't more of a surprise because everyone and their mom has been talking about this.
Yeah, like I understand,
it's
like
been all over the internet.
dropping a few breadcrumbs, but like they just dropped whole loaves out there, y'all.
They did. It was basically like, all right.
Even I saw it.
All right. But basically what happened was Joe got let go
Ooh.
a couple weeks ago. And apparently what happened
What had happened
was Triple H said, nah, bitch, he's mine. Plugs him back, immediately goes into negotiations of a contract with him.
Because,
like,
duh.
Immediately.
Because, duh.
And apparently he tried to do this with a couple of other people that were released, but they didn't get approved. Joe was the only one that got approved.
Approved by who? Who would approve it?
Who do you think approves it? Who owns the company?
Oh, Lord, give me strength. Stupid man.
So
Stupid man.
Anyway, Samoa Joe comes out on the episode of NXT after this takeover, and he is talking, and Cross is out, and he is being very heelish. Very, very heelish. It's actually very, very fun to watch. And I was like,
for him.
Okay. That might have been the reason why I changed my mind a little bit after I watched it.
Good. Okay, good.
So he comes out, and basically he is going to be an enforcer.
Is he like a bouncer?
Pretty much.
Hell yeah. I love it.
I was very stone cold of you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But I won't set it up anymore.
No,
guys, go watch it. It's actually a really great episode. But so we aren't going to let him go just yet, being Regal.
Good.
So
better not.
But I thought it was a very interesting, also kind of weird way to end a takeover. Mm-hmm. But it set up what was going to happen the following week.
Which is good. That's a good cliffhanger.
I felt like it was an interesting take on it.
Yep.
But this takeover had been a little bit weird anyway. Yeah. Right?
Overall.
So, I mean, I gave the whole takeover overall a 3. Which, that was my average. I averaged everything together and that came out to a 3.
Okay. Did that include the first match that wasn't technically?
No, but I gave it a 3, so
then
it wouldn't really change anything.
I know math.
So, I mean, overall, honestly, it's not the best takeover of the year at all.
It was good.
But it was still entertaining, and it's NXT, and we're going to love it.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to sit here and say that it was terrible like some people are saying. It really wasn't terrible.
No. It's just hard to compare with last year's, especially when a lot of people have been.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been.
Yeah, I can understand it, but in a sense, it's also not fair because we're moving out of the COVID era, thankfully.
Yes,
and there's a lot of things that you can't do when fans are back in the arena. Exactly, and they had a full capacity crowd of over 300 people.
It was awesome.
It was great, but there's certain things that you just can't do that they did at the last one. So. You want to move into our segments?
Absolutely.
So, do you want to start with Ignorant Slut or EST?
Let's go ahead with Ignorant. Because I got to think about...
So, you go first.
You're going to be upset. And we didn't get to talk about this when we talked about the 5-way match. But I have to say Johnny Gargano. And I hate...
Why?
There was a spot in the 5-way match that just stuck with my mind.
I know which one you're talking about.
And it's hard because Johnny doesn't mess up, but when he does,
it's big.
It's a big one. Yeah. It's a big one.
Are you talking about the flip off of the stairs?
I am. So there was a move he did. It was a 3-segment part of this move. He starts on the announcer table and he jumps off onto the stairs. That was one. The second part of that move was that he was going to do a front flip onto Cross, bounce off, and then like keep going. That was going to be his move.
Yeah.
He jumps and the cat that jumps off sail and it just falls. Mm-hmm. He did that. And I hated it but he caught himself, and I give him extreme props for that because the next part, he literally jumped to the next part and he was fine. Yeah. And he kept going. But it's just, but in that match overall, we didn't even talk about Johnny.
We didn't.
And that's what upset me.
Yeah.
And I know that's not a him thing. I talked more about Dune than I talked about Johnny.
You did.
And it's kind of sad, isn't it?
Well, it's because
It's Johnny Takeover.
It is, and it's a fatal 5-way. Someone's got to get lost.
And he got lost.
Yeah.
And that's the ignorant slut. Not because of him, but just because of the unfortunate circumstance that he had to be the one lost.
So, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a sad ignorant slut, this one. It's more of a, oh, man.
It's not a you fucked up royally.
It's more of like a, man, this is sad.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Well, I mean, you always got to learn. You got to grow, right?
You got to live and learn, die and forget it.
So, as usual, I have an honorable mention.
You do. You always do.
So, my honorable mention is the security team that Regal hired because they freaking suck.
Look, Regal, if you're listening, that would have saved you a lot of time. Like, Joe is awesome, don't get me wrong. Just hire new people.
I mean, they're the worst.
You wouldn't have cried, man. You would have been okay.
They're literally the worst. Like, they're so bad at their jobs.
Somebody put their hand on their chest, and I think it was like someone huge. I can't remember who it was. It was Bronson. When Bronson and all them were fighting in the back, and he literally had his hand on his chest, and that was it.
And you're like, really?
Dude, it's Bronson.
Again, 330 pounds. Like,
oh my gosh.
Anyway, so that's my honorable mention.
That's a valid honorable
Hire
mention.
better security.
Absolutely.
My actual ignorant slut is Mercedes.
Oh man.
It really bothered me that she made that match drag on, and her and Zaya just didn't mesh
flow
at all, and didn't flow, and just even from the smallest, like getting thrown back into the ring and not working well even with that, you know, like she was the weakest link in this takeover for me.
I can see that,
and it just didn't work.
You are the weakest link.
Goodbye. So, who is your EST?
Honorable mention is Scarlett's outfit, as per always.
Just
second.
Not Scarlett.
No, just her
the
outfit. Second honorable mention is the dip I made. No, I'm joking. I'm so joking.
Oh my god.
I'm joking. I made this awesome dip, guys, but no.
She was really proud of it,
I am
y'all.
really proud of it. But no, that's not it. So, I don't. Like, I'm glad I picked Cross to be the winner. Like, but it wasn't like I can't give him the EST.
No, just because he won doesn't mean that he's automatically that. Do you want me to say mine and I'll
Yeah. Let me think a little bit more.
So mine is hands down the team of Bronson and MSK.
Yep. Okay.
Because
that was like what I was thinking, but
I did not expect them to work that well together.
Yeah.
Because they are so different in style, but it was so entertaining to watch, and they made that match great with Legato, and it was one of my favorite matches of the whole night. Like, yeah, I would say probably my favorite match of the whole night.
You know what? Then I know.
Okay.
Mine's Cameron.
Okay.
Cameron is able to put over anybody.
Yeah.
And Cameron was able to put over the heeliest heel of Douche Kingdom Douche in all of the world. And that's hard. That is hard.
Yeah.
I give him that credit.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes, to the moon, is my EST.
So, I mean, again, overall, not great, but
not bad.
It was good.
Yeah.
You know? So, David, what's going on with Long Walk Podcast right now?
Well, we just last week finished our discussion of the Kevin Smith filmography, the View Askewniverse, and I'm kind of thankful to be done with that.
Yeah, I've been listening to those, and just from the vibe that I've been getting from you guys, it's like, we're doing this, but I don't know if we really should be. Like, yeah.
At the beginning of the year, I was very excited to be tackling all these films, and then the longer we went on, the more I realized that they have not aged well.
Yeah.
And
I could see that.
Yeah.
And my sense of humor has changed a lot. So now that the View Askewniverse is done, starting in July, we're going to be talking about the selected filmography of Christopher Nolan.
Ooh, totally different.
Yeah, that was Katie actually gave me this idea at the end of last year when we were wrapping up our Quentin Tarantino discussion, because I was like, oh man, do I keep going with these director-themed discussion episodes, or do we go back to our random, every week a different topic kind of thing? And she said, you know what you should do is 2 wildly different directors. So I was like, okay, all right, here we go.
I think that's a great idea.
No, that's very cool.
Because it's, 2 totally different tones, different points of views, and maybe you'll find something else out about yourself.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Like you did with the View Askewniverse.
It'll be very introspective.
I would love to hear that and to talk about it. I like Nolan.
You love Christopher Nolan.
I do.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. So.
And it's going to be interesting to watch some of his films like with the closed captioning on, so I can understand what people are saying.
It's true though.
Oh, so that way you don't have to like blow your ears out from like turning it up, because it'll be like super low in volume and then wah, wah,
explosion or a very loud sound effect.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've got Hell in a Cell coming up this Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have a new episode of This Is a Work with David Two Dogs Hayes and Chris the Fashion Plate Barnes next week.
Yeah.
And we keep threatening at some point Katie and I are going to sit down and record some more episodes of Long Walk Teeny Talks.
I wish you would go forward on that threat, because I love me some Teeny Talks.
I know. We do too.
Teeny Talks.
Our schedules are just weird.
No, I get it.
But otherwise, that's it for what's going on right now. Also, listeners, my collaboration with Old Town Theater Company on the film Robin Hood is still streaming online. So you can search for Old Town Theater Company in Rock Hill and visit their website and see that. It was a joint production between Long Walk Productions and Old Town Theater Company. It's about 45 minutes long. I think it's a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
So I'm very proud of that. And there's also a contest going on with that film.
Ooh.
That if you're a Rock Hill resident, you might have a chance at winning some gift certificates.
Aw.
So
That's awesome.
be sure to check that out.
Cool. Well, Gina, if anybody wants to follow you on all the socials, where can they find you at?
I am on Insta. That's about as much as I really get on, other than Facebook. But Insta is at Broadway_baby1218. And I am very close to thinking I'm going to get an Instagram just for the podcast.
I was going to talk to you about that. I think that's a great idea.
Because I do Instagram, and that's what I do, and I do things like that. So I might be setting one up. I'll keep you in the loop, listeners.
Gasp.
I love that. We'll talk to our social media consultant,
our social media manager. Yes.
Who runs our Twitter, which if you want to follow us on Twitter,
whoop, whoop.
You can follow us at this_pod. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at SlayAllRay, all one word. And David, where can they follow you?
Well, if you'd like to follow me online, you can do that on Instagram at DBHensley. If you want to keep up with Long Walk Productions, you can visit us online at longwalk.us or search for Long Walk Productions and Long Walk Podcasts on Facebook. To see more of our original work and hear past episodes that are no longer streaming, you can follow the YouTube links in the show notes. And as always, thank you for listening. And if you enjoy the show or any of the shows on the Long Walk Podcast Network, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on.
All right. And thank you so much, y'all, for listening. And for This Is a Takeover, I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Belmont.
And just so you know, you don't have to be called up to the main roster. You're doing fine where you're at.